Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from, because we have different time zones. So I'm back with part 2 about how to apply a business conference visa. So in the first part, we looked at how to fill the application form for visa application. So when this is what you see, you can see it's the application for the Schengen visa. So what I can mention to you is that for the Schengen visa, this means that when you get this visa, you will be able to visit up to 27 countries. So that means if you've come to Belgium for a conference and you have a friend in Sweden you want to visit, after the conference in Belgium, you can travel to Sweden and visit that friend. If you want to go to Germany to visit, you are free to go with the same visa. That is what we call Schengen visa. It is a Schengen area. You're free to go there with the same visa given by one member state. So for your case, because you're coming to Belgium to attend a conference, your first entry point will be Belgium. But from Belgium, you can connect to any other Schengen country, up to 27 countries, I repeat. So this is the application form which we agreed last time. We saw that we received that by email, and I can imagine that most of you, if you have watched the part 1, you already have this form. So this is the photo place. You go with at least 2 passport photos. Normally they need 1, but just to be sure, just carry 2 to be on the safe side. Then this is the application check that your country is correct, check your place of birth is correct, your date of birth is correct, check everything. Check your name is spelled okay as it appears in your passport, because that's very important. Check that your passport number is correct. Check that the passport number is correct. If you've made a mistake, guys, if you've made a mistake, you're free actually to go back and fill another application form in the same way we did it. Then you'll get a new one. Okay, check that contacts are correct, because the visa people will call this number for you to go and collect your passport when it's ready. So make sure that you everything is okay. After you check that you're sure that everything is correct and is true, you're going to sign. So here you see they're saying place and date. You're just going to put the place, Kampala, and then the date of the day you're signing. If you're in Nigeria, you're going to put Abuja, and then you put the date. If you're in Kenya, you're going to put Nairobi or any other city where you are. Just put the place and the date of when you're signing and the place where you're signing from. So we have said the first requirement for the visa application is the invitation, which is the reason you have to travel, the reason for travel. You're coming to attend a conference. That's number 1. Number 2 is you need this application form is actually number 2, signed by the visa applicant. So as you can see here, this is if the person needs parental guidance, but I will not go through this because I imagine that everyone who is applying for this conference is above 18 anyway. So the application form, that is the requirement number 2. The third requirement is actually the bank statement. That's very important, the bank statement. The bank statement should be at least for the last 6 months, and it should show the inflow and outflow of income. That's very important. So for the last 6 months, it should be showing the inflow of income in and out, but at least there should be a minimum, depending on how many days you are going to stay in Belgium. They require a minimum of at least I think 1,000 euros or so, but just make sure that there's some money on the account. Apart from the inflow and outflow of income, at least make sure there's some money, a minimum of at least 1,000 euro to prove that you'll be able to pay for your hotel. 1,000 euro or more, at least maybe 5 million or 1,000 or 1,500 euros. at least to prove to the embassy that you'll be able to pay for the hotel when you come to Belgium. And you'll be able to take care of yourself, buy food and everything. So the bank statement, of course, it should be stamped. It should be stamped. You should go to your bank. If, for example, your bank is Stanbic, I know Stanbic is all over Africa. If your bank is Stanbic, go to the bank and tell them, I want a bank statement of the last 6 months. Let them stamp it and sign it to prove that it is from them. What the embassy will do, actually, you can borrow money. If you don't have the 5 million, you can borrow from friends. After all, you pay 5 million to people to give to people to do for you what I'm teaching you now. So I imagine you have that money anyway, so you can use that same money and leave it on the account and let the bank statement be with money. What the embassy will do, it will call the bank the bank statement you take. The questions they will ask will be that, is so and so, does ABCD, does this person save with your bank? Yes, the bank will answer yes or no. It is not ethical, and I repeat, it is not ethical for the embassy to ask the bank how much money is on your account. That's not possible, and they don't do that. But what they do is find out if it is true you save with them. So make sure that this bank you've been being with them maybe for 2 years or so, or even more. And then, of course, when the bank calls, when the embassy calls, they'll just check in their system, and they see, yes, we have a person called ABCD, and this person does save with us. How much money you have on the account does not concern the embassy, and it's not ethical for the bank to give out such information to the embassy. So, but it's important that you have at least 5 million anyway on the account to prove to the embassy, because it will show in the bank statement though that you're taking, to prove to the embassy that you'll be able to pay your rent and to pay your hotel bills and eat food and do whatever you have to do when you're here. So those are 3: invitation, application form, and then bank statement. Then the recommendation letter is very important. So we saw in the application, we said we are employees, and if we are employees, maybe I think I made an example of the Ministry of Works and Transportation. So in that case, if I was the one applying for this visa, I'll go to the Ministry of Works and Transportation and I talk to my supervisor, and my supervisor will give me a recommendation saying that I do work in that place. That's all they need, a recommendation that I work there. But however, you might not need a recommendation if you can prove that, you need a recommendation. You need a recommendation because they want to know that someone knows you and you work in that organization. For those who are applying, maybe you're applying through your own company, or you're applying through your own company, or you're coming as a company here, it is important that you have a company account that is showing that your business is active, and also you can attach your business papers like the operating license. Yes, so the recommendation is very, very important. You need the recommendation from your boss to show that they know that you work with them and you're a good person. That the embassy needs for sure. Then another thing you need is if you're working, if you say you're working in a particular organization, maybe Uganda Revenue Authority, I'll take an example, which is a government body that collects taxes in Uganda. If you're working with such an organization, you're going to get a proof that you have leave. Like, you ask your organization or your boss to approve leave days for you. So it will just be a written paper showing that you are free from the 15th of November to the 20-something of November to go on leave. Annual leave. Every company gives annual leave. So that is very, very important. Even if you have a personal organization, for people who have personal companies, yes, even if you're the managing director, even if you're the executive director, by law you're entitled to annual leave, even if most people who own personal businesses never take annual leave. But by law, you're entitled to that. So, and these countries already know many people here own businesses, but they do go for annual leave. They close down the business 3 weeks. They even put a notice, it's vacation, and they go for vacation, no business for 3 weeks. So this country already knows that. So even if you have your personal business, it's no problem. Make sure you get a paper written on official documentation of your company saying that so and so works with this company and is allowed to go and live on such and such a days. That is very important for a business visa. Okay, yeah. It's very, very important, because you have to prove that the company you're working with is not going to give you you're not going to disorganize their work. So you're official on leave, or also you're official allowed to go for business in another country. That's another point. But that's if you're using a personal company, and maybe you're coming to learn from others who are at the conference, something called benchmarking or something like that, to see how things are done by other people. You can apply for that. So very important, a recommendation letter from your boss and leave days showing that you're allowed to be on leave on those days that you have to be somewhere in Belgium attending a conference. Okay. So I have talked about the invitation, the application letter, the bank statement, the leave days, proof that you have leave from your work, the recommendation letter from your boss. Then another important thing is the insurance. So insurance, that is travel insurance. Travel insurance, whether they give you the visa or not, they need it. They need, at the application level, they need the insurance. Why? Because when you come to Europe, you might fall sick, and when you fall sick, you need to be treated. The health system of Europe is very, very expensive. People who live there pay for it, so they cannot let someone who comes as a visitor to be treated with that system. So if you're a foreigner and you're coming to visit or for business, it's completely, you cannot use the system if you get sick. But if you pay insurance, the insurance, you will go and be treated in those hospitals, and then the insurance will cover all the costs that are involved in your sickness. And even if you might not get sick, you might say, yeah, me, I never get sick. That's okay. But you can get an accident. You can be on the bus or in a taxi, and the taxi gets an accident. You need to get treated immediately. And who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay your bills? Best, you go to the hospital. But how will you go there? You need insurance. So the embassy needs that proof that you have insurance. So you have to pay for it, even if you have not yet got the visa. It's part of the application process. So what insurance you can go for? I always advise people to go for UAP, but yeah, UAP is common in most countries. If you know the logo of UAP, this is how it looks like. So my advice is not for you, because in Africa, online things are not yet really very active. My advice is for you to just go to the UAP office in Kampala or in Nairobi or in any city, in Arusha. Just go to any city. There's always a lot of agents of UAP insurance, and especially in Africa. Or you can go for any other insurance, but be sure to check at the embassy website which insurance companies they accept. For me, I am sure and I know that they accept UAP, they accept Jubilee Insurance, but you're free to go with any other one, but just check at the embassy website to make sure that you're using the right insurance and that is acceptable. At the Embassy of Belgium website, they always list there's always a list of insurance companies that are allowed to be used for buying insurance. Yeah, so but to be fast, I will go with UAP because it's everywhere in the world. It's everywhere in Africa, in Arab countries, it's in India, it's everywhere. So we can just go with UAP insurance. It should be fine. So you just walk to a UAP insurance agent and say, I want to buy insurance for this date. So if you're traveling from the 15th to the 21st, it's best that you buy maybe from the 14th to the 22nd. That will be best, so that you're covered in case you have delays, in case you have to change your ticket in purposes of corona issues. Maybe your insurance is still valid. Then another thing is the flight reservation. That's also very important. So for flight reservation, there's nothing much, guys. It's just you go to any website. I'll just use Brussels Airlines because anyway there's a direct flight always from most of the countries. There's a direct flight from Nigeria to, there's a direct flight from Benin to Brussels. There's a direct flight from Uganda to Belgium. There's a flight from Rwanda to Belgium. But any website you go to, Kenya Airways, Rwanda Air, you will always be able to do what I'm doing with in Brussels Airlines. So from Brussels Airport, I go to Entebbe. Be careful. Be very careful. Sorry. I have to say from Entebbe. I'm traveling from Entebbe Airport. It also actually gives, and then I'm traveling to Brussels Airport. I'm traveling to Brussels. I hope you can see my screen good. And then I have to book a two-way. So you remember our travel dates were November. Be consistent. Our travel dates was November 15th and return of November 21st. Just these dates are for only showing you what to do, but you might not follow my dates. But I'm just, for illustration purposes, you can choose different dates, but just be consistent that these dates are the same dates on the application form and are the same dates on the hotel booking and on the flight reservation. So the application form has these dates. Then I'm now on the flight reservation. I have the same dates. I have to book a two-way ticket because when I have a short stay visa that is less than 90 days, I am required by law to have a return ticket. So even at the airport, I will not leave Entebbe Airport if I don't show my return ticket. I will not leave Abuja if I don't show my return ticket. I will not leave Nairobi if I don't show my return ticket. I won't leave Kinshasa Airport if I don't show my return ticket. So the return ticket is very, very important. So I will search for flights available on those days. And as you can see, it's searching. I'll just take this for purposes of illustration. I'll not look, but you can always look. Then that's the return. And okay. Then I have this. You can see I have Entebbe to Brussels on that day. Duration is 8 hours. And then Brussels to Entebbe. So you can see how much I have to pay in total. The embassy never wants you to pay this much money when they have not yet given the visa and they don't like it. So they ask for a flight reservation. People, you pay millions of money to do these things for you. This is exactly what they do. Because those people are always clear. I'm doing these things for you, but there's no ticket. You have to purchase your own ticket. This is exactly what they do. And then they charge you 5 million. So this page, you just can save this page the way you want. The easiest way I do is I come here and search for snipping tool. If you can see, it actually shows up, snipping tool, and then I click on new. And when I click on new, I just have to I can just select this like this, you see, and then I release. I have now my flight reservation. I will save it, save as. I hope you can see it very well. I will save it somewhere on my desktop as flight. Okay, flight reservation. Okay, flight reservation. So I will save it, and I can actually close that. I no longer need that website. And now if I go and open on my my desktop or any folder where I decided to save it, when I open it, it's here. I have a flight reservation. That's what the embassy wants. That's what people you pay money to do things, that's what they do. Okay, proceeding. So that one also, you have to attach it to your papers. And then the last thing I have to talk about is the hotel booking. Hotel booking is just a reservation. In most cases, most hotels, you have to pay on arrival. Like, you don't pay online, you don't what, but you pay on arrival. So you don't have to pay for the hotel. You just have to have a credit card to book the hotel. So for example, I'll go to normally you have to use this website. It's called booking.com. Booking.com across Europe is one used for booking hotels. Even if you go to the website of a particular hotel, you will for sure be directed to this website by that particular hotel. So check-in dates, take note, check-in dates here should be the same as the dates on your flight reservation and the dates on your application form, and the date on your insurance, the travel insurance. Those three, the date on your travel insurance, the date on the application form, the date on the hotel booking, and the date on the flight reservation. Those four should really be consistent. If they're not consistent, the embassy will contact you and they will need consistent dates. So I'll check in, and we said check in. I'm going to arrive in Belgium on the 15th of November. I will arrive in Belgium on the 15th of November. I think, yes. And then I will want to leave. I want to leave by 21st of November. As I mentioned, choose different dates depending on what you want and depending on your real travel dates. And then if you're more than one person and you want to book, you can just add here, add. If you're traveling with a child, do add. But I'll just book for one person, knowing that each one will independently apply for their visa. And then I'm going to search for rooms on those days. Be consistent. Consistency is key. Okay, so I just searched for rooms, and I'm going to, I didn't choose where I'm going, and I'll say I'm going to Brussels. Brussels is exactly where the conference will be taking place. Okay, so it gives me a lot of hotels, and yeah, this is so you choose what you want, so you can go. I will give an example of this one. It's called Motel 1 Brussels, and it's free cancellation. Actually, they say free cancellation, no prepayment needed. You can cancel later, so lock in this great price today. So you can see availabilities of this one and try to book. You see, so they are giving me several availabilities. I can choose the one I want and I book. So if I want this one, for example, I just have to say I need one room, and then they are saying it is free cancellation until at 6 o'clock on that day of November 15th. So that means no payment needed. You pay at the property, guys. You pay at the property. The difference, so the thing is that this is only reservation. It's not for paying for. So when you click here, I will reserve. When you say I will reserve, they are going to take you to a site. You have to, so you see now they ask you for your details. When you put in, they ask you for your name, your first name, your email address, and everything. And when you finish filling in those, they will actually tell you to put in your credit card details. You need a credit card to book this hotel room. So because I will not put credit card details because I'm only showing you this and I'm not interested in booking this hotel. I'm only using it as an example. But when you fill in your information here and proceed, they will ask you to put in your credit card details. Your credit card will only be charged on that day at 6 p.m. if you've not cancelled. But if you cancel before that day, then no, they will not charge your account. Okay, so those are the visa requirements I've talked about. Then the most important thing that I have not talked about are the ties. Okay, ties. I'll talk briefly about ties. So ties are what will prove to the embassy that actually when you go to Belgium, you are willing to return back to your country. That's very important. Now, ties include if you have a car registered in your name, put the card of the car. If you have a business, put the trading license. That's also a tie. If you have a school, put the papers of the school proving that you're managing a school and you can't go to Europe to stay there. You go back to your country and manage your business. If you have land, put the land title. These things should be in your names. If you're married, put the marriage certificate. If you have children, put the birth certificate of the children, because this will prove to the embassy that you're leaving a family behind. And of course, no one don't want to live with their families. You'll have to after leaving your family, you'll be forced to go back and find your family. So you have a mother of your children and yourself and the children themselves. You put the birth certificate, the marriage certificate, but you might not have that. It's no problem. Just put put land titles. Land titles, not endagano, not chibanja. Land title. It should be in your names. Trading license, business papers. If you're working for government, you're working for a big organization, put your work contract. Most people have permanent contracts with government. If you're in a government job, put it. That will prove that you're working for the government and you're actually not allowed to stay. You have to go back and work because you have signed a contract with the government of Uganda or government of Kenya, and you're obliged to actually go back and work. So then also, because we talked of bank statement, something I forgot, I just remembered. So I hope the thing of ties is clear. Something I have forgotten to talk about is you're providing a bank statement showing that every month you receive maybe 1 million or 2 million shillings, and it's coming to your account. Of course, you spend it. It doesn't have to stay. You spend it and more, another month comes in. They want to know what is the source of this money. So can you attach pay slips of the last 3 months? That's very important. The pay slips or proof of payment from your boss, or sales, if you've sold something and you have money, prove where that money is coming from. So the best thing is to attach pay slips of the last 3 months if you're employed. If you're not employed, you have maybe a business, you have a company, provide your company account, and that company account, of course, will have money, and the sources of the money are the sales from whatever you're selling. You can, from whatever you're selling, you can put business contracts showing that you're in business with so and so, and from what you transacted, you earn this much. Invoices, the invoices you give to your clients and then they pay you. All those are proofs of where the money that is on your account is coming from. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is now you have put together all the documents I have talked about. So you have your ties, you have the invitation letter, in the ties as I've said them, you have the invitation letter, you have the hotel booking, you have the insurance certificate, you have the flight reservation, you have your application form, you have your bank statement, you have your leave days, you have your recommendation, you have the proof that you're working, you have the ties, the working contract is part of the ties. Now you have everything together, and now you want to make an appointment. As I already told you, Belgium embassy in Uganda or in Nairobi or in Nigeria, they actually don't receive applications directly, because the languages they speak are completely different. They speak Dutch and French and German, but most people who are going to apply, they don't know those languages. So they then decide to outsource. So the Belgium embassy have outsourced the TLS contacts. They have outsourced the TLS contact to deal with visa applications. So they are the ones supposed to receive the visa application, and then they send it to the embassy for the decision to be taken about if you get the visa, yes or no. So what I forgot to mention was how much you have to pay. So you have to pay around 180 to 200,000 shillings for this visa application. There are sometimes visa handling fees by TLS contact. I don't know how much exactly it is, but to be on the safe side, just have 300,000 shillings when you go to apply for your visa. And then when you don't pay all of it there, it stays in your pocket anyway. So you don't have to worry about that. Then, so to make, after you have all papers together, as I talked about them in when I was beginning my video, you have to make an appointment at TLS Contact. How do I make an appointment at TLS Contact? I am going to go to to Google. I'll just go to Google. Guys, I like Google. Google has everything. I don't have to pay someone to teach me how to make an appointment or to make the appointment for me. This is what they do. I just Google and they give me everything. They are saying, you see, TLS Contact Visa Application Center, Kampala. And they're actually telling you where they are located. Old Kira Road, Victoria Court Block A, Victoria Office Park, ground floor, Kampala Road. And they are telling you when they are open. Yeah, you can see they are really open almost the whole day, and they are closed only on weekends. That's typical for most companies. So yeah, you can see even how it looks like. Google brings also the photo. That's beautiful. So but you can only go here even when they show that they're working from 8:30 to 2:30 p.m. You have to go on appointment. They will not receive your visa application if you don't make an appointment. So you just come here and say this TLS Contact website, and you want to make an appointment. Of course, as usual, we don't have an account. You see, if you don't know how to fill the application form, the one I showed you in the part 1 video, if you don't know how to fill the application form, this is what happens. You see, you can pay this money to TLS Contact to help you fill in the application form. But why, guys, should you pay? Just watch video part 1 and fill it in yourself and save yourself this money. This is a lot of money. Okay, anyway, we proceed. So they are saying to me how to make an appointment is what I'm talking about. After you have everything together, you want to make the appointment at TLS Contact. I'm going to register because I don't have an account with TLS Contact. I'll just register. Okay, so when I register, you can see you're going to fill in email address, you fill in a password. You can create any password, it doesn't have to be the password of your email. You fill in the password and then it's okay. So you fill in your email address and password, enter a password, it doesn't have to be the password of your email, and then say I am not a robot. Okay, then create. They ask you to save, but yeah, you can save if you want. If it's your personal computer, this is my personal computer, so I don't mind saving. And then they are saying you need to verify your email address to activate the account. So you need to go to your email address and you will have received an email from TLS Contact to verify that you are indeed a living person and not a robot. So so you can see I received an email from TLS Contact. When I open it, there it is, and I confirm that I want to activate my account. I click on that link there. Then my account is actually activated, and they are bringing me to Belgian Visa Application Center, and I can go ahead and submit. So they ask me where am I applying from, and I'm saying Uganda. If you're in Kenya, say Kenya. If you're in Rwanda, say Rwanda. If you're in Senegal, say Senegal. If you're Nigeria, say Nigeria. I'll choose Uganda just for purposes of illustration. I will submit. Please choose the country where you have an appointment. Registration and payment in another will not be recognized. So they are giving you a warning. If I have an appointment in Uganda and I'm choosing here a country, Kenya, they will not accept. So I chose Uganda anyway. Then they are giving me your visa application process. They are telling you what everything. And then they are saying the visa on web form should be completed before appointment booking for a visa. That's the form I showed you how to fill in the part 1 of this video. So I have not completed my visa on web form, and then you have two options. Okay, so you're going to go here and login. Remember, we created an account, so using that same account you're going to log in. Of course, they'll bring a lot of things, so they're expecting you to answer everything. So normally you have to say yes to almost everything. These are terms and conditions of TLS Contact, so I'll just say yes. If you have time, you can read, guys, but I don't have a lot of time, so I will not read. After all, I'm only using it for purposes of what they're asking, marketing and information. They can contact me by anything they want. It's a requirement, you have to fill these things by partners. I don't care. And then I say confirm. Okay, so when I say confirm, they are telling me this is it. Create form. This is create form, submission method, appointment, additional service payment, and confirmation. So create an application form. Please fill your application form. Okay, so they are telling me please select purpose of travel. We are making appointment at TLS Contact. I hope I'm clear. I'm going to say short stay because I'm going for less than 90 days. And why am I traveling? It's commercial purposes because it's a business visa. I'm looking for VOW reference. So this one is this from the application form. You remember that we filled? What they want is this, guys. This is the thing they want. Guys, you see it? It's here on the top of the paper.
So I'll write it down so that I go and fill it in the other side. VOW, mine is VOW INT 25 11 499. Okay, so I come here, I come at the here and fill in that. I've shown you where I get the number from. VOW 25 11 499. 25 11 499. And then they're asking me for first names. If you remember first names, we said Bruce. Okay, and second name, surname, we said that. Date of birth, I will just put anything. You have, of course, to be above 18 years, otherwise it's not okay. So I'll say just 1990 of February, whatever date I put. Okay. Current nationality, I'll say Uganda. If you're Kenyan, put Kenya. Then they're asking me my travel document number, so I have to put my travel document number. I will just put anything. Then, but make sure that travel document number is the same as on the application form in part 1. And then travel document issue, so the dates that are on your passport. Let's say it's issued in July 6, okay, and it will expire 10 years after that. Yeah, it will expire 10 years after that. So 2032 July around voila 7. So these dates should be as they appear in your passport, guys. This is not my passport, I just put it. Travel type of travel document, so we said it's ordinary passport. If you have a diplomatic passport, do choose diplomatic, but most of us, we do have the ordinary passports, unless for people who are working with who have big positions in government. So mobile number, you're going to put your mobile number. So you put the number, your country number. You begin with the code of your country. My code, the code of Uganda is that, and then I'll put I will put any number. Like, you have to put your number, because on this number is where TLS contact is going to contact you. So guys, when I submit, I'll receive an email with if I submit, but let me submit, and I see I'm submitting. Yeah, good. So they have given me my reference. Your reference is that short stay commercial purposes, and yeah, and then I'm going to submit and confirm. All right. The good news is that they are giving me the time when I can choose for my appointment. So if you have all your paperwork, it's okay to get your visa in August and travel in November. It's no problem. So I'm going to choose August, maybe 11:30 on 11th of August, 11:30. When I confirm, guys, when I confirm, they said to me, yeah, they want, of course, they are marketeers also, but I don't have to choose any of that because it's not necessary. I just ignore it. So when I go back to my email, I see a new email. Your appointment has been confirmed. You see, this is my appointment at 11:30 on the 8th of November, and they are telling you everything. They invite you to verify your documents and everything, and they're actually giving it also in French. They are translating that message in English to French, and then this is, I think, Chinese, no, Arabic. This is Arabic. Yeah, they are trying to make sure that the whole world is covered. So guys, I'm sorry the video became a bit long, but it's because visa application process is, yeah, you need to have enough documentation to prove to the embassy that they can give you their visa and trust you that you will go back to your country. That's why it took long. So to recap a bit, you will need your invitation letter, the one sent to you by IDEX or any other conference. You will need the signed application form that I showed you in the first part of the video. You will need a bank statement of the last 6 months, and then you also need to prove where is that money coming from. If you're a business person, you have invoices and that are showing that people are paying you, you did something for them and they are paying you back. Or if you've been working in the Middle East, of course there's proof that money is coming from there. So maybe you have a paper showing that this is how much they paid you this month and everything. Then you need a recommendation letter from your employer. This one, recommendation letter from your employer, you will ask more details. If you go to Bruce's live, he will tell you more about the recommendation letter from the employer, but it's just to show that the employer knows you and you're a good person and you're not a bad person. They always like that for purposes of yeah, someone introducing you to them, something like that. And then you'll need the insurance. You need the insurance, you need the flight reservation, you need the hotel booking. Guys, hotel booking, insurance, flight reservation, these need to be at the same dates as the application letter for your form. Then if you're working for someone and you receive salary, you've provided salary slips, it's important you give a leave. You show that I have leave days, and your boss should approve those leave days, approved leave days. So you will have leave days moving from this date to this date, the days that you have put on your travel documents, on your traveling, the paperwork. Then basically that is it. Then ties. Ties are very, very important. Ties, as I mentioned, if you're married, put a marriage certificate. Put children, if you have children, put their birth certificates to prove that I will come back and take care of my children. If you have land, put land titles. If you have a vehicle, put the card of the vehicle, put the documents of a business, put anything that can, put a working contract that is permanent. Maybe you're working with a government body like your Uganda Revenue Authority, put a working contract to prove that I'm working for government and I have to come back anyway and take care of business. Or I'm working for a particular company, it's not a government company, I'm tied to that company and I need to come back after that conference to attend that. So yeah, ties. I think I have talked enough about ties, and I hope that I'm clear. I'm sorry for the long video, and I hope that it will help you. It's because there's a lot to explain for this. As you can see, people take money, the money they take from you to arrange this paperwork. Yeah, sometimes it's worth it because you're ignorant about it. That's why it's important to read. And I hope that this video will save you at least 1,500 euros. That's 5 million that you're planning to give an agent to get you a conference visa to Europe, to America, to Canada, to wherever, Australia, to whichever country you are planning to travel to. These visa requirements, as I mentioned them, all can, if you go to Canada, it's the same. If you go to Australia, it's no difference. If you go to USA, there's no difference. It's always the same across all these countries. Okay, I will stop at that, and I wish you guys a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good evening wherever you are. And I hope that you'll find this video helpful. And yeah.